What's up everybody, my name is Brenden and this is BigBearB Creative. In today's video, I want to talk to you a little bit about how to take a photograph. And I'm sure most of you are going to be like, dude, it's simple, you just press the button. We all know how to take photos. But that's the thing, there's a difference between a photo and a photograph. And I'm sure my English majors out there are going to say, no, a photo is just, or the word photo is just the short version of photograph. But that's the thing. With the difference of photo and photograph, it's all about time and effort. To say photo takes a lot less time and effort than it does to say photograph. And I don't know if every photographer will agree, but for the most part, they're going to agree here. To take a photograph means you're putting in a lot more time and effort into capturing your scene or your subject or your person, whatever it is that they're taking the photograph of. They're going to put in a lot more time and effort into that, which is the difference between a photo and a photograph. So today I want to share with you 5 simple, easy steps to teach you how you can take your photo and turn it into a photograph. So without further ado, let's jump on ahead right into those steps. So step number 1 of turning any photo into a photograph is all about choosing an intriguing subject. And this is one of the most important parts, besides actually, clicking the shutter button and capturing it, is to choose that intriguing subject. Because when you take a photograph, you want to be telling a story or capturing an action or portraying some sort of mood or vibe or whatever adjective you want to use there. But yeah, so it's all about choosing an intriguing subject. And this changes wildly depending on what kind of photography you do, whether it's landscape, portrait, product, yeah, that was right. It just sounded weird. It sounded like I said Prada. I don't know. I guess it's because my girlfriend's been watching those designer shows. I don't know. But yeah, so it's all about choosing a intriguing subject. And that's going to completely change how you do the rest of the steps. Speaking of which, let's jump on ahead to number 2. So the number 2 step in turning your photo into a photograph is all about observing the light. You have to walk around your subject. Is it a good light? Is it bad light? Is it a harsh light, a soft light? We talked a little bit about that in my photography and videography lighting tutorial video that you can check out in the link above. But yeah, if it's a hard or soft light, if there's a good amount of light and it's hitting the way you want, or if you need to add some artificial light or anything like that. But it's all about lighting, because really photography is the art of capturing light. Even though we don't really think of it like that, if we didn't have light, we wouldn't see anything that we're capturing. So really it is about capturing light and how it portrays different elements of the world that we live in. So that's all step 2. And step 2 and 3 can be flip-flopped, but I think knowing what the light is that you have will change how you do step 3. So step 3 is all about composing your shot, to really tell that story, to show the action or whatever it is that drew you to that subject. You need to compose it correctly. That can mean that you're having to take out things that are encroaching on the outside frame of the camera, or if you want to add a certain subject in the foreground or blow out something in the background so it's not distracting, anything like that. It's all about composing your shot to get the best frame for your subject, that intriguing subject from step 1. And then from there, step 4 is all about stabilizing your shot, because no one likes a shaky shot unless that's your certain kind of art form. I did watch a video of a guy who basically that's how he takes his photographs. Nothing stabilized. He's always moving the camera around, and it kind of gives it a ethereal kind of vibe thing. You still get a basic form of structure there, but you really have to look and try to define it for yourself, which really is what photography and all art is about, is defining something for yourself, not necessarily what the original artist had intended, but just what it makes you feel. So that's step 4, is to just stabilize the shot, and that could be with a tripod. Like I said, if you're not doing what that guy does, but yeah, that could be with a tripod, or if you're doing handheld, you like to run and gun with this sort of thing. Making sure that you're holding it with at least 2 hands, maybe bracing it against your brow if you're looking through the viewfinder, or at least holding it close so that way the camera isn't shaking as much if you're using a slower shutter speed. I'm pretty sure I just hit my mic, so if that was any louder, I am sorry. But if not, forget what I just said. But yeah, so it's all about stabilizing the shot so you can make sure, again, you're capturing your subject in the most flattering manner. The light's hitting it without it bouncing around from you moving the camera, or you're not getting any of those solar flares, unless you like solar flares, Michael Bay. But yeah, so yeah, it's just all about stabilizing the shot and making sure that you're capturing your subject exactly how it needs to be. Which leads us to our last step, the make or break. Step 5 is all about clicking that shutter button and finally capturing your image, or starting completely over from scratch. Which sucks sometimes, but sometimes you have to do it. You know, if you just missed that lighting, you spent too long composing a shot or stabilizing your camera, or you just didn't get there quite early enough or late enough, depending on what kind of light you're going for. You know, if you want the blue light, or if you want the golden light, or the sunrise that's coming just over a peak and hitting that mountaintop just right, or whatever it is that you're looking for. Sometimes you do have to start over, and that's okay. That just means you get to go back to that same location later and shoot it again, which is fine. But yeah, so like I said at the beginning of this, the difference between a photo and a photograph is the time and effort you take into taking each one. So if you just want to take photos, fine, by all means, go ahead and do that. You'll probably be able to post a lot more than you see on my social medias, but I like to take that time and effort to capture a specific subject the way at least I see it, and portray its mood and its story, or the mood that I like to give it in some situations. Because if you've watched my photo editing videos, you know that I like the moodier photos. So, which also goes into, did I go through every step? I did 1, 2, 3 was compose it, 4 would be stabilizing, and 5. Yeah, those are all 5. I'm gonna throw in another one. Let's go with like a 4.5 on this, but that's choosing the settings of your camera. And this is very important. I don't know why I didn't make this a 6-step process. I guess it technically really is now, but for the thumbnail's sake and the title and what I said at the beginning, we're just gonna say 5. So we're gonna throw in a little 4.5, whole Lion King 1.5 action here. But yeah, so 4.5 is all about settings, because that can make a photograph completely different. Like I said, I like the moodier photos, so my photos are typically going to be a little bit underexposed, just because I don't like the highlights as much. I want some darkerness, I want some more shadow. I'll still have the highlights for sure, but I feel like I like to drag things down just a little bit, so that way it creates a more moodier vibe. I like my moods, what can I say? But yeah, so that's what I do for it. But it could also change based on your shutter speed if you're doing a long exposure, quick shutter burst, because you can't capture a waterfall. I mean, you can, but there's many different ways to capture waterfall. But if you're wanting to capture the movement of water, you're going to capture that differently than you are, let's say, if you're a sports photographer and you're capturing a wide receiver jumping up to catch a game-winning pass or something like that. So your settings really matter. It depends on what you're looking for. But yeah, so that I'm gonna say that's 4.5, because you can't take the photo before you put in your settings, and you can't really put in your settings until you've composed your shot. So yeah, 4.5 settings. So really there's 6, but we're gonna say 5 still, okay? No hate. But yeah, so those are all 5.5, 6 steps you could do to change your photos into a photograph, and that you could use to improve your photography if it's really something you're wanting to improve and maybe become a professional at, or make a little money off the side with it if you're selling photo prints or anything like that. Speaking of which, I do sell photo prints. Of course, I'm going to link these down in the description box below, but you could always check them out on Zazzle or my merch page. They're for sale. You can change different sizes depending on what you need for your home office, anything like that. You could even frame them, anything. Check it out in the link description below. I also sell some t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, long sleeves, a bunch of different apparel. It's all based off of my graphic design videos. If you haven't watched those, go ahead and check them out. Well, not all of them, because one is a business logo. I don't put that on a shirt, or I haven't put that on a shirt, and I won't put that on a shirt. But all the rest of them, yes, including, I think last week we did a Sasquatch design, so if you're into Sasquatch things, be sure to check those out. But yeah, so check those out. I sell those on Teespring and on my merch page. So you could really just go to my merch page, and you could go to either or, depending on what you're wanting. If you want some photo prints, or if you want some apparel to wear, go ahead and check them out. I would really appreciate it. Also, if you like this video and you learned something, 1, Let me know down in the comment section below if you did learn something, your thoughts on this whole photo versus photograph, if these steps have helped you, if you think there should be another 0.5 step in there somewhere. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section below, and while you're down there, hit that like button if you really did enjoy this video. It really helps me know that you are enjoying this and that you're learning something here, and that it really helps promote this video and this channel to other people who like it as well. And of course, if you do like these things, subscribe. I make these videos at least one every week. Sometimes I do two. I like to do two, but it really just depends on my schedule and how all my other projects are going at the time. So yeah, make sure you subscribe if you want weekly videos about photography, videography, graphic design, anything like that. If you have any kinds of videos you want me to do for you guys so that you can learn anything, again, let me know down in the comment section below. I'd really love to help you out. And of course, it just gets me in front of this camera more, which helps me learn in this whole process too. So with all that said and done, thank you for watching this video. Hope you have a great day, and go be creative.